Okay, welcome to an odd version of X Chapter Channel where we are not outside, and there's actually a really good reason for that. And it's how many degrees out there?
33 today.
33, and it is humid, it is ridiculous. So
I ain't walking around outside.
no, we would, if you wanted to see us as if we just come out of the pool, we could have done an outside episode today. Anyway, I'm here with a special guest. This is Brennan. He has been in Japan for a good number of years. How many years have you been here?
Off and on since 1999.
1999, so longer than me. And so we're talking today about a topic that is, I think, something that we hash over from time to time, and that is what kind of person or what kind of personality or what kind of character type ends up staying in Japan for any length of time. You know, there's all sorts of different people who come to Japan and they're here for a few months on a working holiday visa or something, or they are here for 2-3 years and work in the English and teaching industry or the culinary industry or farming or something, and then they go back. And then there's people like you and I who stay here for some reason.
And we're still sticking it out.
What is it that happens? Do you have any insights in your long tenure?
Those individuals who have stayed in Japan the longest, in my experience, and have shown no signs of returning to their home country, tend to be those that have a solid anchor. One thing that just absolutely draws them or keeps them here. That could be, for example, in my case, my wife, she lived in the United States for about a decade. She has no desire to go back. We're going to be in Japan for the rest of our lives. She's my anchor to Japan.
Sure.
Education.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who has gotten their master's degree or their PhD here and recognizes that markets in other countries are just extreme.
Yeah.
Their education in Japan allows them to have a comfortable or stable life within this country, but not necessarily to the same degree outside of this country.
Okay.
So having some sort of anchor, and when you have people with that anchor, I think you also have to have somewhat of a personality, almost an obsessive personality to match with that anchor. Which I've always wondered about you. What is your obsession then?
What is my obsession? You mean specifically for Japan? Or?
Well, I'm not even sure if it's specifically just for Japan, because I think that you're the type of person that might have more than one obsession with Japan. You've taken
That's true.
this country to heart in terms of so many different aspects of the culture, more so than some of other people that have lived here for a long period of time. There seems to be two types: the type that's just getting along to get along, and the type that's embraced the situation and the experience. And you, to me, strike me as the latter.
Maybe I just have a bad attention span.
It could be that.
I mean, I have to say that I didn't come to Japan because I really wanted to come to Japan when it first all came about. I just wanted to live abroad somewhere, and Japan afforded me an opportunity through the Japan Exchange Teaching Program, the JET program, to come here and teach. And I just ended up, well, I didn't even stay. I went back to the States for graduate school and then returned to Japan. In
So
that
are you
time,
still here?
Well, at this point, I've been here long enough that my career track really keeps me here. So if you're talking about an anchor, I'm not making a career doing YouTube. Yet. My career is definitely an anchor here because my experience and my education qualifications set me up for more success here than I could probably travel to some other countries and teach English, certainly. But okay, so we've got this idea of anchors, things that have got people to stay here that are something that really is important to them, and we're talking family or career or
But we need that personality trait.
Yeah,
helps
because
keep that anchor
we both
in the
know
ground.
people that are not married. We both know people that are, so they don't have that anchor. We both know people that are not, don't seem to be married to any particular, like they're really into Aikido, or they're just huge anime lovers or something. It's not, that single hobby doesn't seem to keep people here. So what are the other reasons why people might end up just staying, even if they didn't intend to when they arrived?
My own personal pet theory is that those who have a more, call it stable or patient personality, are more likely to be able to put up with the idiosyncrasies of living in a country that's not their home country. The little things that every day, we've talked in the past that I get upset about the trains and such. But if I think about it, okay, well, back in the United States, driving in California, I got upset about the stupid drivers. Transportation's transportation. You're gonna be upset about something. Is it enough for me to say, you know what, I just can't deal with this anymore? People are driving me crazy. I need to get out of this country. We have known colleagues that just could not stand the Japanese political system, the bureaucracies, and when you listen to them complain, all you could be, or at least for myself, all I could think of is, and your home country doesn't have these same problems?
Sure.
They do have the same problems.
Well, do you think that living abroad somehow enhances those problems? Because what it sounds like to me is, okay, take those same problems like bureaucracy and issues with getting around and dealing with things at the bank, etc., doing your taxes, and throw in the added communication barrier of, okay, now you have to do it in Japanese, or if you're in France, you have to do it in French. I don't know about you, but I feel like a lot of the people that I've known who've left didn't speak a lot of Japanese, even though they've been here quite some time.
Frustration level, the inability to have that extra measure of patience or stability in your own life to get by because of that communication issue, most definitely. And
the other part that goes along with the potential language barrier is, a friend once mentioned it to me in these terms, and it really resonated. He said, well, you have to be able to sacrifice a few things that you might take for granted if you're in your home country.
Of course.
And if you're willing to give up a few mundane things to meld with how the local culture does it, then you're going to be fine for the most part.
Yeah, I do make sacrifices, but that's kind of part of life.
Yeah.
We make decisions, we might regret them eventually, but it's part of being an adult. We have to make some sacrifices in some things to be able to go forward in our life and other things.
Do you think there's any part of it, though, that's a kind of either need for adventure or masochism?
Oh, definitely
or both?
masochism. I'm certainly a masochist. Living in Japan on some days, especially during the summer. From California, I like the dry heat. This sauna stuff is just not nice for me.
Well, I guess, but I mean, like masochist, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the daily things suddenly get more difficult, and
Sure.
Okay, I had to fight my way through that, and it sucked, but I feel
It's
like
a
I
challenge.
accomplished something.
Yeah,
And
and with any challenge that you overcome, there tends to be that sense of accomplishment. And in some ways, living in a foreign country certainly gives you more of those little senses of accomplishment. Hey, I was able to communicate with the grocer today.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I got what I wanted instead of something they just gave me.
Right. Yeah, every time I call, I have to make a customer service phone call, I'm always, how's this going to turn out? What's going to happen?
Suddenly I have insurance for people in my family.
Yeah, don't exist.
I don't have.
Yeah. I have pet insurance, I don't have a pet.
There you go.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, there's that fear, but then when you get it done, you realize you did it and you got it right. There's a feeling of accomplishment. Of course, you know, it doesn't matter how long we've been here, we're still going to have moments that are going to get us down and make us rethink, like, why am I here again?
So in summation, I've claimed that you need an anchor, you need to have a stable or patient personality.
Now I want to play the devil's advocate or one of those stereotypes about Japan cards I'm going to play right now. How often is it the fact that it's people who couldn't make it in their own country, and so they escaped to Japan to be like big man in small
Isn't that all of us?
yeah.
I mean, I didn't think there was any
The
other
truth,
type.
the truth has come out. We're done. We can let's stop it.
We are a strange bunch if you think about it. But I would say that of any group that has moved away from their home country, I think that the ability to be patient and to accept these new challenges and new experiences, and maybe incorporate them into your life, or just being able to deal with them in general, and not go haywire.
Let's be perfectly honest.
Mm-hmm.
Those sort of new challenges and new things that happen. Of course, it happens quite often when you first arrive here. But
Sure.
By the time you've been here as many years as you and I, there's far more mundanity on a daily basis than.
There is a great deal, but
And-
don't you still find yourself on a weekly basis coming up against something that's new or unusual?
Yeah, I would say on a weekly basis
Yeah.
is fair. Yeah.
Right. And think back to when you were living in the United States, when you were living in your home state. How often did it occur to you, this is a completely new experience and I have no idea how to take this?
Not that often.
Not that
Not
often,
that often.
right?
So
But
I
probably
guess-
for the rest of our lives living here,
Yeah,
we're going to
yeah.
have that. And in a way, I think that's a good thing. I think
Mhm.
that allows our brains to keep realizing that our world can get bigger.
Anything else you feel that's not been said that should be said about why someone, not why someone comes here, but why someone stays here?
I guess a minor point is you do have to have some sort of appreciation for other cultures. I mean, maybe it doesn't need to be said, but I have run into the few occasional expats who just hate Japanese culture. And then when you get to talk to them, you realize they hate all other cultures other than their own. And
Yeah.
they rarely
I agree.
stay very long.
Yeah.
It would be pretty strange if they did, but even just a smidgen of respect or interest in another culture, it goes a long way. I
Yeah.
think. So,
I agree with that. It'd be hard to stay here if you didn't actually appreciate Japanese culture in some way.
I hate Japanese food. What am I going to eat tonight? McDonald's. I hate Japanese language. Well, you guess what you're surrounded by. In any country that you travel or live to, I think it's your duty in some sense to learn a little bit about their history and their culture. If you're going to be there even for a week, make use of the experience.
Yeah. Go beyond the tourist traps.
Yeah.
Please check out. I'm going to be doing a series of videos coming up that are off the beaten track tourist spots and how to enjoy famous tourist spots and catch them when they're at their best with as few people as possible. So please look for those videos.
Is that possible in Kyoto anymore?
It is possible to view some of the best of Kyoto and not be fighting a massive crowds, believe it. So yeah, look forward to that. For those of you who are planning on trips to Kyoto, even if you've lived here and you've traveled to Kyoto before, you can't take in that city in any short length of time, and there's so much to see that, believe me, you can do it without worrying about being around a lot of other people. So I'm going to share some tips and tricks coming up for that. So, well, any final thoughts that you want to add before we sign off?
No, I think that's about it. You don't want to be here, don't be here. But it can be a very
Get out.
rewarding country to live in if you are looking for some place that's not your home country.
I hope you enjoyed all of the juicy B-roll that I inserted in here so you weren't looking at our faces the whole time.
Thank God.
If you really want to look at our faces the whole time, please let us know in the comments. Otherwise, if you thought this video was interesting, hit the like button. And if you want to see more content or my hidden tips and tricks Kyoto video, among other things, please hit the subscribe button. You've done it, right?
I have.
See? He's the Japan expert and he's watching my videos, so you should too. Thanks. Yeah. I'm just having fun doing this. Cheers until we see you on the next one.